Good morning, dear students. Today, in Environmental Studies Part 2, we are going to learn chapter number 10 Historic Period. We have seen in lesson number 2 that written records are available in the form of inscriptions, manuscripts, books, etc. for the historic period. In all ancient civilizations, the art of writing was developed. They used fully developed scripts. In other words, with the rise of ancient civilizations, the new Stone Age came to an end and the historic period began. It means Stone Age man developed language and started making stone inscriptions and metal inscriptions and many other things, and that became an evidence or proof for today's generation, and that is why it was an end of new Stone Age and the historic period began. Humans and all other animals are dependent on their environment and nature for satisfying their needs. Like food, we depend on nature. However, other animals do not cause any significant change in their surroundings. For example, bears live in caves and monkeys live on trees. But humans build houses. It means that we humans change the natural character of our surroundings up to some extent. Humans do not eat their food in its natural form as other animals do. We roast or cook the food, or in other words, we process foodstuffs before eating them. They process many substances in a similar manner. They work on stone, metal, etc. to make tools and various objects. They make pots, bricks, and many other things from clay. They obtain yarn from cotton and weave cloth from the yarn. In short, according to their needs, humans change the form of materials available in nature. They need skills to do this. They need to think and plan before they shape an object. Then they have to put in efforts to actually shape it. The tradition of thoughts, skills, and efforts gave rise to various arts. It means we all, including other animals, we depend on our environment or nature to satisfy our needs like food, clothing, shelter. But other animals, they do not cause any significant change in their surroundings. But we humans made lot of changes according to our needs. We work on stone, we work on metal, but to do this, we need to think, we need skills, and then we need to plan before we shape or we do any work. Then we have to put in efforts to actually do that work. And this tradition of thought, skills, and efforts gave rise to various arts. Every generation handed over the knowledge of the artistic skills and traditions to the next generation. With this exchange of thoughts and ideas, language was enriched. The knowledge of various arts, skills, and traditions inherited from generation to generation, and the way of life founded on that knowledge is what we call culture. Now let us learn about ancient civilizations in river valleys. Cultures which flourished in the new Stone Age were based on an agricultural way of life. Fertile soil and constant water supply are essential for growing good crops. Naturally, people in the New Stone Age established their village settlements on the banks of various rivers. The New Stone Age cultures flourished along the river banks. In the course of time, New Stone Age cultures gave rise to early civilizations. Increase in production due to various skills, the use of the wheel, flourishing trade, use of well developed scripts, etc., were the major factors responsible for the rise of the early civilizations. These civilizations came into existence in roughly the same period, that is, around 3000 BC, in four regions of the world. They are Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indian subcontinent, and China. The civilizations in these four regions developed in river valleys. Hence, they are known as riverine civilizations. Mesopotamia is the name of a region and not of any particular country. It means the land between two rivers. Ancient Mesopotamia was the land between the two rivers Tigris and Euphrates. These two rivers mainly flow through Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. Ancient Mesopotamia had great cities like Ur, Uruk, Nippur, etc. These cities were home to very prosperous cultures. The river Nile flows through the eastern part of the Sahara Desert in the north of Africa. One of the ancient civilizations flourished along its banks. It is known as the Egyptian civilization. The Nile gets flooded every year. The land along her banks has become very fertile because of the flood deposits. Also, ancient Egyptians used to build small embankments, means a wall built of mud or stones to stop the river water to flow or to stop the flood water. On the river to store the flood water. After the soil in the flood water settled to the bottom, the water was used for irrigation, means for farming. The ancient civilization of China developed and flourished in the valley of the river Yangtze. According to the Chinese tradition, a king named Yangtze introduced agriculture, animal husbandry, wheeled carts and chariots, boats and clothing in China. Chinese people believe that his queen invented the technique of silk production and silk dyeing. Liang, Beijing and Chang'an were among the important cities of ancient China. The earliest civilization on the Indian subcontinent is known as the Harappan civilization. It flourished in the Indus Valley. Indus is the English word for the name Sindhu. Sindhu is the name of a river. Harappa in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh are the two sites of Harappan civilization to be discovered first. Now they are in Pakistan. Lothal and Dholavira in Gujarat and Kalibangan in Rajasthan are among the famous sites of Harappan civilization in India. Sites of this civilization are well known for their systematic town planning. The houses were built in blocks created by parallel roads that crossed each other at right angles. Huge granaries and spacious houses were the special features of these sites. There were bathrooms and latrines in every house, and a covered drainage system which indicates a concern for public hygiene. There were carefully constructed private and public wells. The cities were divided into 2 to 4 parts each with a separate fortification. The characteristic earthen pots of the Harappans are well baked and red in color and with beautiful designs like people leaves and fish scales. When tapped, these pots produce a metallic sound. The Harappan craftsmen were highly skilled in making bronze objects and beads from semi-precious stones of various colors. These things were in great demand in Mesopotamia. The names of Harappan gods and goddesses are not yet known. However, we know with the help of the Harappan seals and clay figurines that they worshipped Pashupatinath, lord of all living animals, and a mother goddess. There were a variety of sports and means of entertainment in the ancient civilizations. Hunting and wrestling were the important ones. Games played with the help of game boards and gamesmen were also popular. In ancient Egypt, people played a game that was similar to chess. This game was played with a game board and gamesmen. It was known as Sinet. In ancient China also there were many games played with boards and gamesmen. Similar games were popular in Mesopotamia and Harappan civilization too. Many toys are found in the excavations of Harappan sites. They include whirls, whistles, rattles, bullock carts, animals and birds on wheels, etc. Music and dance were also very important in early civilizations. They were an essential part of celebrating a festival. Ancient people used many types of musical instruments. In Mesopotamia, a stringed instrument known as balag was very popular. Besides, instruments like cymbals, rattles, flutes, drums, etc. were also played. The Egyptian kings were known as pharaohs. On the occasion of certain festivals, the pharaoh himself used to participate in the celebrations and dance. The bronze image of a dancer found in the excavation at Mohenjo-daro is evidence that dance was important in the Harappan civilization as well. Till now, we have learnt in brief about the history of human civilization from the Stone Age to the early civilizations. Next year, we shall study in detail the Harappan civilization that developed in the Indian subcontinent. We shall also study the ancient history of India. Till then, bye.